Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a full review on the Asher Knives Nomad 3.0. I'm going to try to keep this one brief because I have reviewed the 2.0. I've shown this knife before. I've shown the Nomad before. This is obviously a little bit different, but I've covered some of that, so I don't want to go crazy. I'm just going to run through my normal breakdown and we can wrap it up. Let's see if we can do this in under 10 minutes. So this is the Asher Knives Nomad 3.0. I want to shout out Justin over at Asher Knives. He did provide this knife to the channel. That's what he does when he gets a new model. He lets me have one. And that's basically my compensation for the LeftyEDC code on his website that you guys are awesome and use all the time when you buy Asher knives. So if you want to go snag an Asher knife, I don't know if this is available right now or if the titanium one's available, but when they are, if they are, you can use code LeftyEDC at checkout for 10% off your order. This is Contour G10. Comes with a deep carry clip, a JG10 backspacer, at least mine did. I think sometimes he switches up the backspacers. And then you have a nicely stonewashed M390 blade. These awesome black studs, a cool fuller on there. It's obviously a drop point blade. You have a filler tab for the other side. If you're a righty, you can switch the clip over, obviously. And we have an Axis style lock that I like to call the Asher lock. So all this for, I believe, $90, which is pretty cool. If you think about it, you can get a Bugout in the same configuration, G10, deep carry clip, M390, and it's probably going to cost you like $200. So for $90, you can get that. But keep in mind, this is machined in China. The parts are then sent to Justin, who is Asher Knife Co. in Pittsburgh. He assembles the knives and sells the knives. So a good portion of your money is going to an American company and American workers, etc. But it is technically a Chinese-made knife. And if that bothers you, then you have that option, obviously, to go get a Bugout, which is going to be American-made. And, you know, 100% of those funds are going to go to an American company. I guess except for the M390 because that's an Austrian steel. But they have one in G10 and 20 CV, I think, at Blade HQ. Anyway, point being, there's options, right? But if you're on a budget, you don't mind Chinese-made knives, but you still want to support an American company, you can do that with Asher for $90 on the Nomad 3.0. So that covers our bases on the Chinese versus American thing. Yeah, so aesthetically, I love it. It obviously is reminiscent of the Bugout. It's a drop point knife with an Axis lock, of course. But there's definitely differences here. Obviously, the clip is completely different. You have contoured scales, which is completely different. You have a blood groove that goes the length of the blade, that, well, not the length of, but all the way up there, which is totally different. So, you know, it's unique as well. Or I should say it's, you know, different in ways. So yeah, I love the aesthetics. I think it's just it's a knife, right? When you look up knife in the dictionary, that's what you see, a drop point knife, right? So I think it's a good design. Ergonomically, it's super comfortable in hand. Yes, it has a deep carry clip. You do feel that a little bit in your palm, but it has never bothered me. I've had a 2.0 for years at this point, and I love it. This is even more comfortable in hand and a little bit lighter weight, which is awesome, right? And then the pinch grip, again, very comfortable, cutting out shipping labels, getting into packaging. If I'm slicing something, you get a good saber grip or whatever this is called. So ergos are fantastic. Carry is fantastic. You have a deep carry clip. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. Yeah, you have a little bit sticking out, but that never bugs me. I love that it's left-hand compatible. This knife is completely ambidextrous. You have studs on both sides, Axis lock, Asher lock on both sides. Clip can be switched on both sides. Bang. Ambidextrous. Cutting, excellent. This is M390 steel, which I believe they showed the Rockwell, and it was like 61. I can't be certain on that. You can check Asher's Instagram. He always posts that stuff. Nice thin stock. I haven't gone crazy with this. You know, I've had it for a little over a week or two. And I've had other knives in to review. So I have carried this a good bit, at least like 4 or 5 times since I got it. And it's been a pleasure to carry and to do EDC stuff with. I haven't noticed anything detrimental. I haven't cut anything thickish, so I don't know if that fuller would get in the way at all, but I don't think so. To me, it has a very good edge on it. It's sticking. It's kind of cutting into my skin a little bit there. So, you know, I've used it a fair bit, but not enough to really, you know, mess with the edge. So I'd say cutting's great, especially for a thin stock, and you have a good thickness behind the edge, very thin in my opinion. Absolutely love cutting with any Nomad, and this one as well. Sounds, so to me, it's got really good sounds for an Axis lock knife. It's on the higher end of sounds. I'd give it like a 7. I enjoy it. Lots of clicks and clacks, which is important for sounds for me. I love that. Action. I mean, it's on bearings, guys, so there's absolutely no side to side, no up and down. Maybe the slightest up and down. I guess it's worn in a little bit. When I first unboxed it, I checked, and there wasn't any, I believe. I love the Axis to the Axis lock. It's something I always point out on these knives. They just give you enough to get in there. Something that bugs me about the Axis lock from Benchmade is sometimes it's kind of like tight to get in there and pull those little plastic things down. And, you know, especially if you have like winter gloves type situation on these, you can just bang. And I have used this with gloves on, specifically testing it because it's cold as hell and it snowed the one day I had it. I did have a little trouble flicking it with the gloves on because of how close this is to the scale. I kind of got, my glove would get caught on the scale, so that wasn't the best, but you know, you could easily do this and then drop it easily, so it functions very well with gloves. But yeah, the detent is just spot on. It's got a nice strong spring in there as opposed to like Hogue, which seems to have pretty soft ones in terms of like the detent situation. Benchmade's a little bit better, but these are the best I've handled on a Axis style lock. It fires out every time. These thumb studs are super comfortable. They have a nice little nubbin on top that just doesn't like get you. It just feels good in hand. You can reverse flick, you can thumb flick, no problems, guys. This thing is a dream to fidget with. And then it's on bearings, so you just pull that lock down. Again, no side to side. Comes out of the box doing this. Like, that's just impressive. No fiddling or tuning or anything necessary. Dead nut centered. Yeah. That might have been a little hair off. I pushed it over and it stayed. Let's see. No play. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's really close. And again, just beautiful action. I mean, seriously, love it. So yeah, overall, I love the Asher Nomad 3.0. It's just, it really is just an excellent evolution of the knife, right? The 2.0 had proud liners. These are nested, right? It had slabs of G10. These are contoured, right? It had S35. This is M390. It didn't have a fuller. This does, right? I don't know if the stock is any thinner, but like it just made, he made those small improvements that really make the knife and make the knife a touch better. I still love the 2.0. I don't have it here. It's loaned out, but yeah, I'm loving the Asher Nomad 3.0. And there we go, guys. I think we got it in under 10 minutes. Let me know what you think. I absolutely love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Thank you again to Justin. You are the man. Go check out AsherKnives.com, and I will catch you later.